Hi guys, I'm back. For those of you who are new to the channel, my name is Musa and I'm a second year medical student at CMH Kharian Medical College. I wanted to thank you guys for all the love and support you guys gave me on the first video. All the new viewers and subscribers were very touching. Thank you. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about the 5 things I wish I knew before medical college and how I use different strategies to handle these situations. A lot of these misconceptions are medical school specific, but can also be applied to any postgraduate or university course. So let's get straight into it with the first misconception, which is that medical students never have any free time. Now this is one I've heard a lot, and all I can say is that it's false. It's false. Medical school is time consuming, yes, but it's not crazy to the point where you won't have an ounce of free time. The amount of free time that you have in medical school depends on 2 factors. One of which is how quickly you absorb information and learn the material. And the second point is how high you want your academic aim to be. I believe an average student who attends all the lectures and studies for about 3 to 4 hours a day will still have a couple hours of free time every night. And apart from that, every week you can afford to take a day off, take some time off, and it won't do too much damage to your academics. Honestly, it's the free time that helps keep us medical students sane. Otherwise, we'd all be crazy. As a medical student, you have to use this free time to unwind and relax and just relieve some of that stress that you have from your day-to-day life. This is going to be the time where you're going to be able to hang out with your friends and your family, pursue sports, pursue hobbies outside of medical school, go to the gym, just whatever you want to do with that time. If you don't use this free time during medical school, you're going to be much more susceptible to burnout, and the quality of your life is going to be lessened. The best students are those who can find a balance between work and leisure. And if you can do that, I can guarantee not only will you have a successful time in medical school, but you'll be well off in your career as a doctor. And you'll have a great time doing it. Now this next one might be a little controversial. But the second thing that I wish I knew before medical school is that it's not that hard. At least not in the way that most people expect. Medical school isn't easy. It is difficult. I agree. Difficulty in the medical field doesn't come from the content or the material in the course itself. It comes from the vastness of material that you have to cover during your time in medical. In layman's terms, the material itself isn't that difficult. There's just so much material. For example, in a week of anatomy, you could start off at the clavicle, which is your bone right over here, your collarbone, and in just 1 week you could end up at the arm. And in that 1 week, you're going to be covering all the nerves, all the arteries, the veins, the muscles, the bones, everything. And the material, it's not that hard. It's a lot. The biggest way you can stay ahead of this is by reviewing your material on a daily basis. If you come home after your lectures to review, it'll only take you about 2 to 3 hours to review all the material you learned in one day. And that's definitely manageable. The issue comes when you miss a couple days. Now suddenly you're a week behind and you're struggling to catch up with the rest of the class, and they keep moving forward. Nobody slows down for you. You have to know that. Going back to an anatomy example, say you miss a couple days, or say you miss a week. Now you're a week behind. You got to cover all the way from the clavicle all the way to your arm, your compartments. Now let's use anatomy as an example again. Say you miss a week and you missed all the way from the clavicle to the arm. Now you're going to be struggling to catch up, trying to recover and review all the material you learned here, while the rest of the class is going to move on to the forearm, then to the hand and all that stuff, and you'll be so far behind, and then it becomes difficult to catch up. What I think is a good way for you to keep on top of the material is the night before a lecture, right before going to sleep, spend about 20 to 30 minutes just reviewing what you're going to learn the next day. Don't even study it, just give it a read. Try and get a rough idea of what's going on here. Then you take the lecture, solidify all your concepts, go home one time, give it one more review, get those nitty-gritty details in order, and that's that. In one day, you would have seen all the material 3 times, and you would have covered it properly to the point where you understand the concept and you're able to get the details in order very efficiently. If you can do that properly, the material shouldn't creep up on you at all. The third thing I wish I knew before medical school is how varied your study strategy can be. I remember back in high school, when I would try and do stuff from outside the main textbook, use sources from elsewhere, I would always feel like I'm doing something different or doing it incorrectly. And on test day, they always wanted the textbook answer. I know a lot of people in O and A levels, as well as those in metric and FSC, who who went through something very similar as to the experience that I'm describing. The beauty of medicine is that you can learn from wherever you want, however you want. There's no set in stone text or material that you have to absolutely study from. There's multiple textbooks and multiple online resources you can pick and choose from to get a study plan that is well fit for you. For instance, if you're a visual learner, you can turn to diagrams and flowcharts. And if you're an auditory learner, you can turn to lectures or YouTube videos, whatever fits you. I know some people who take notes, some people read the textbook, some people watch YouTube videos, some people watch lectures, and some people do some weird mixture of all of those. But the key here for new medical students is to experiment a lot and find out what works for you. This is where your senior students as well as your teachers are going to come very handy. They've already been through the experience and can guide you better towards the path that you should go on, whether that be suggesting books, suggesting resources, whatever you need. Next, I totally wish I knew how important concepts and skill were before medicine. In medicine, it is my belief that your focus shouldn't be on marks, per se, getting good marks and stuff. It should be on learning the concepts and clinical skills that will best help you in your future career as a doctor. There's no use in this field to cram stuff without properly understanding what you're learning. Delving deeply into the material and asking a lot of questions is the key to getting a deep understanding of the medical field, as well as getting the skills and the knowledge to become the best doctor that you can be. Try not to cram and study conceptually. There's a really good saying I always turn to, and it's that don't chase success. Chase excellence and success is going to follow. And in the end, that'll be more beneficial for you in the long term. And the fifth and final thing that I absolutely wish I knew before medical school, and I think this is the most important point, is that the environment of medical school isn't always conducive to healthy mental health. You'll face a lot of high stress environments, and the people and culture around you at medical school won't always assist you in that. In my experience at medical school, as well as that of many of my peers, there's going to be a lot of opportunities for your mental health to suffer. You'll deal with a lot of unhealthy classmates, some inconsiderate staff members, sometimes some unsupportive family members, and just a system that at times is designed to grind you down. I read a psychiatrist's interview once, and he was saying that there's a lot of pathopsychology in the medical field, and it's not always in the patients. It's here where you need to develop healthy coping mechanisms. You need to be careful though, because sometimes your coping mechanisms can turn destructive very quickly. Eating can turn into eating too much, sleeping can turn into sleeping too much, social activities can become excessive. Unfortunately, some people even end up turning to substances as a coping mechanism, and I strongly recommend against that. It's quite easy to become dependent on that stuff, and it just becomes a vicious cycle of self-destruction that harms you in the long run. You need to strike a balance and not let yourself become excessive in your attempts at escapism. Going out on the weekends, being with friends and family, working out, meditation, pursuing hobbies outside of school, these are all productive coping mechanisms and ways for you to blow off your steam and not let the pressure get to you. And I think this is the most important point of them all. Being braced to take care of your mental health will not only make your time at medical school fun and successful, it's essential for you to survive medical school at all. If you guys have anything at all to add, leave it in the comments down below. Give this video a big thumbs up, hit the subscribe button and hit the bell icon to get notified of all my future uploads. And on that note, these are the 5 things I absolutely wish I knew before medical school. I want to thank you guys for the love and support one more time. Hopefully we can keep it up going forward. If you guys have any suggestions or any questions for me, feel free to comment them down below or give me a message on any of my socials, which you can find at the end of the video or down below in the description. Thanks again guys. This is Musa, signing off again.